Welcome home, sir. You'll need to pay attention to control the time today. With every passing hour, I'll remind you once. Enjoy your time, sir.
Hark! The chronicles continue for part 5. By the hammer of the gods, we yet live. I confess, when we began this folly in part 1, I estimated our survival odds at roughly those of a snowball in Muspelheim. Yet here we stand, caffeinated, crazed, and still coding. The compiler has not claimed us, though it has tried. Welcome back, noble wanderers. Thy persistence suggests either admirable dedication to OS craft or a concerning enjoyment of watching others suffer. Both are welcome here. Take thy chalice and settle in. We descend deeper into the abyss today, armed with stubbornness and an alarming quantity of assembly code. Our saga thus far, part 1, we summoned the bootloader and wrote our first Rust incantations. Chaotic. Bewildering. Beautifully cursed. Part 2, we built core structures and questioned every life choice. The AI helped. The AI betrayed us. Classic AI behavior. Part 3, we wrestled memory and initialization rituals. The OS stopped being a digital paperweight. Part 4, we conquered interrupts and hardware initialization, discovering that the line between working and catastrophic failure is thinner than a wizard's patience. Now part 5, 5 chapters. By my beard, that is 4 more than my optimism suggested we'd achieve. We have transcended mere experimentation. We are committed to this beautiful disaster. Today, we descended into assembly language. Yes, actual assembly, where we converse with silicon spirits in their native tongue. We implemented substantial low-level architecture, context-switching routines that dance between processor states, interrupt handlers catching hardware events like flaming torches, and memory management primitives organizing RAM's chaos into civilization. The volume of assembly in our repository is frankly disturbing. Push, pop, MOV, CMP. These are no longer mere abbreviations, but our daily poetry. We have stared into register allocations abyss, and it stared back. Current tribulations, our OS has grown from fragile newborn to surly adolescent, capable yet prone to inexplicable tantrums. We implemented scheduling algorithms, memory allocators, and system call interfaces bridging user space and kernel space. This is no small feat. This is the difference between a toy and a genuine operating system. This growth brings evolved bugs, Heisenbugs that emerge only under specific lunar phases or CPU temperatures. They vanish when observed, reappearing when we look away, like digital gremlins feasting on sanity. The compiler relationship grows complex. The borrow checker, that magnificent, infuriating guardian, prevents memory sins that would crash us into oblivion. I curse it at 3 a.m., yet weep with gratitude when it catches dangling pointers corrupting page tables. Assembly debugging is surgery with mittens. One misplaced byte transforms our OS into a digital Jackson Pollock painting. The debugger speaks hexadecimal riddles we must interpret while dawn approaches. There were dark moments when the assembler spat errors like dragon flame. "Invalid opcode?" it declared, as if we'd insulted its mother. I questioned my sanity, career choices, and using hobby projects to avoid social interaction. Yet we persisted. Through stubbornness and caffeine, we bent silicon to our will. The assembly routines align. Stack frames settle. Context switches occur without obliterating registers. Victories amidst chaos behold our works. Our OS multitasks like a determined juggler refusing to drop balls. Processes spawn, execute, and terminate without bringing the system to its knees. Memory, once wild frontier, is now mapped and monitored like a paranoid accountant's ledger. System calls bridge the treacherous gap between user space and kernel space, a boundary guarded heavier than dragon hordes. The boot process, once fragile prayers and hope, now executes with mechanical precision from address 0x0 to virtual memory initialization. I have profound respect for pre-StackOverflow pioneers who built OSes without GDB or explanatory blogs. They were titans. We stand on their shoulders complaining about the view. The path forward, our journey is far from complete. File systems loom where data must persist beyond RAM's fleeting lifespan. Device drivers await, those treacherous translators between elegant kernel and chaotic hardware specifications written by caffeinated squirrels. Virtual memory approaches, a labyrinth of page tables and protection schemes. Networking looms like a storm front promising packets, protocols, and debugging TCP implementations until we discover inverted bitwise operators in checksum calculations. But these are future concerns. Today we celebrate Part 5. We have written more assembly than sane people should. We have survived. I summon thee, if this chronicle of suffering entertains thee, smash that subscription rune with fury. Ring the notification bell as if thy life depends on it. Leave comments in the ancient internet tongue. Tell me thy suffering, suggestions for Part 6, thy favorite assembly instruction, mine is NOP, representing computers closest to meditation. Thy wisdom guides this series. Share with fellow code warriors and anyone believing OS development is reasonable weekend activity. Spread word that Part 5 exists, that we have not been defeated by silicon, that assembly has been tamed. Every view fuels persistence. Every like sustains morale. Every comment reminds us we scream not alone into the void, but with excellent company. Part 5 concludes. We exit with substantially more assembly code and new psychological trauma varieties. We advanced our art. We were not broken. Thank thee for witnessing this journey. Thank thee for patience as I debugged stack frames on camera. May thy code compile on first try. May thy segmentation faults be obvious. May thy context switches never corrupt precious data. The compiler be with thee. See thee in Part 6, legends. Go forth and code. The operating system awaits.
Темная ночь, только пули свистят по степи, только ветер гудит.